something. They have to be
Oh, good.
new, not new, but you know.
Within decent condition.
Right. They're not just gonna allow any family
Shanty.
Correct.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay, that was our main concern.
I hope you do get to that presentation so you can see it. And once you see it, you'll be 100% convinced that you want it.
Well, and that's what we were looking for. So Norma, is that on the website, the presentation, or?
No, it's not.
So where would I get that?
You will probably have to come pick up a packet.
Oh, it's not available electronically?
No, ma'am. I don't have it electronically.
Okay.
Not at this point.
You know, the developers, they left their contact information at City Hall, didn't they? Or was that just their attorney, John Bell?
It's just John Bell.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Gallo, we all received a package of the layout, and everything, and all the details it's gonna provide. I will get that package together and leave it at City Hall so for you yourself. And at the same time, I'll try to contact the either John Bell or the developer. I'm sure he left his name there at City Hall. And if I can have him send it to City Hall via email. That way you can get a copy of it.
Sure. I think that you would garner more support from the community if they knew what was coming. And it's you'd have more support locally. And I know that you guys are up against the wall with dealing with some of the people, you know, in the past. But I think that if you are more, if you provide more information, that you would have more of a chance to even move forward before you gets 2 steps back, or you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. And right now I see that there's a full meeting here.
Yes.
In the past, we've always just been the council. Nobody gets involved. Nobody calls or looks at the agenda. So it's kind of hard to explain it to everyone individually.
Of course, understood.
But if they did, they would know. But
absolutely. Well, I do commend what you guys are doing and looking out for the city. And again, my husband and I would really like to give a shout out to the police department. You guys are doing a heck of a job. I miss that sign that was on Blackwelder and Sunset where it tells them how fast they're driving.
Everybody's on the toe, huh?
We have to bring it in and charge it.
Oh, you have to charge it. I was going to tell you, run an extension cord from my house, because let me tell you, we drive that every day. And, the guys from Exxon, if I could shake my fist at them anymore, I would. They drive, pretty fast through there. And so that seemed to keep that a little bit slower. But you guys are doing a great job considering how fast the city is growing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Ms. Delgado, thank you so much for your comments. That is greatly appreciated. And the questions you asked are probably questions that other citizens also have. But I do thank you so much. And I do want to say one thing. That meeting that Councilman Martinez is mentioning, the date is June 16th from the Planning and Zoning. And I would hope that I would have given you also some answers to some of your questions. But that meeting that was attended by Councilman Martinez and Councilman Flores, I wasn't able to attend that Planning and Zoning. But from my understanding, in that meeting, they did discuss about the hotels, everything that you were asking about. But my question here at this time, or my comment would be and I know Mr. Bell's not here, but I would like to comment as a city council citizen also, that I wanted to see a feasibility study, an economic impact study to see, because I'm not against, just like you, I'm not against Mr. Solis, with the annexation of the property. I'm all for it. Let's build.
I agree.
But that section of zoning is still not zoned for, like you had mentioned, for that area. So this is something that we need to discuss. And I would hope that we could make it into a workshop.
Yes, that would be good.
can come in place so we can all be on the same page and ask the questions that are
Actually,
needed.
we're having a whole workshop tomorrow, Mayor Pro Tem, it's in your packet.
Well, that we'll discuss in a little bit, Councilman Martinez. But for right now, that was my comment, for this annexation. Very good questions, because I
Well,
myself and others
yeah.
have the same questions.
My, one of the biggest things that I'm concerned about is that we need to bring a tax base into Gregory. I mean, you're not collecting a lot of taxes from other outside organizations or businesses. There's very limited. And so the idea of going towards a hotels, oh my goodness, the hot tax, oh my goodness. And we've got a lot of room over here.
You mentioned water sales, but also ad valorem tax also.
Yes, that's right.
That's
We need
gonna
that.
also benefit the
Yeah,
city.
we need those hotel taxes, because
Once it's
that, yeah, very good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
don't.
no, but no, like I said, those are good questions. And we're hoping if there's maybe another citizen that would like to comment. But what you just mentioned to all of us at this public hearing is just, we need answers. I want answers too.
Of
And
course,
just,
yes.
and in fairness also, I would hope that the council, and which later on I will mention in my reports, is that in fairness, I understand with the Zoom, it's difficult for other citizens to participate either through the phone or through Zoom, that hopefully in November to meet in person
Oh,
for a
good.
public hearing. So that way it'll be
Good.
much easier
Yes.
to
I
communicate.
wish we could meet now, but it's COVID.
I know.
I know.
I
But it's
I
still
understand.
possible. It's still possible. But
thank you.
anyway, no, thank you, Ms. Delgado. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Delgado. And then, like I said, I'll give you my package that was given to me.
Oh, that's fine.
As soon as I get it together, I'll send it. I'll take it to City Hall. You can pick it up there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So are there any other comments from the citizens on the public hearing? Norma, is there anyone else?
Norma, can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, this is Mr. Zambrano, a private citizen, City of Gregory. And I'm not against the annexation of any type. However, it is important for us to know what is it that is going to be proposed. And it is proposed a high-end RV park. And apparently, according to the June 16th meeting, which I attended, and it was a very good presentation given by the developers, and the Planning and Zoning Committee were there, and I was also present. They made it sound real good that the RV park was going to attract a hotel, a convenience store, a restaurant, and a whole bunch of other economic development projects. My question is this, is that they also mentioned about annexing the entire area. Now, if that's the case, a good economic impact study will be good. They mentioned they had an economic impact study. They said it was a 40-page, drawn to 10-page, drawn to 1 page. Yet I have not seen it, or has the City Council seen an economic impact study, which is required. However, right now we're only talking about the RV park. We're not committing the developers to the hotels, to the restaurants, to the convenience stores. RVs do not attract them. RVs are attracted to them, but the businesses are not attracted to the RVs. It's the other way around. However, the value of the RV is what is called ad valorem tax. That's the only monies that will be coming into the city once it's established. The value, they said, is $12 million based on our current based on our current tax rate. It will generate approximately $84,000 a year additional to the city. However, the city will have to be provided the services of police, fire, water, sewer, storm drainage, just like everybody else. If you put a value to that, the value to the police may have to hire another police officer, may have to hire Another public works may have to hire more administrative staff. If you put a number to that, it's way over $84,000. So the benefit of a place like this will be if you're able to obtain sales tax. Sales tax is what generates the economic development because it also generates jobs. I've seen the annexation agreement. I mean, I see that they want the city to provide all these services, and the services shall be made available upon the effective date of the annexation. Is that possible? Not to my knowledge. In that meeting that I attended on June the 16th, they gave a lot of numbers, and I double-checked the numbers, and they did not make any sense in reference to how much water services, how much water capacity, how much sewage capacity do we have in comparison to what they're going to utilize. And those numbers did not make any sense. So I'm not against progress. I'm against going into something without having all of our answers questioned in detail. I believe in numbers. I do not believe in what's proposed and what is expected unless you can prove it by giving me numbers. So in the annexation agreement, I would further recommend, please have a developer's agreement to make sure that the city will not be out any money in providing these services. We need to make sure who's going to pay for what. The developer will be paying for what, the city will be paying for what. Those are the things that we need to have answered before we get into any commitment with developers.
Thank you, Mr. Zambrano.
Thank you.
Are there any more comments from the audience for the public hearing? So if there are no more comments, I want to thank everyone who had made the comments. Very good. So if there are no more comments, I'm going to be closing the public hearing at 7:01. And we will open the regular council meeting at 7:01. Okay, council members and audience, the next item, number 5, is presentations. I believe there are no presentations. Item number 6 is the consent agenda. All of the following items are considered to be self-explanatory by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests. Do I hear a motion on item number 6 for the consent agenda?
The only question I have, Mayor Pro Tem, is the item that you had requested to be put as an action item on the minutes from the last meeting.
Yes.
Other than that, I mean, I'll make motion, but are you okay with the last item that you discussed that you want to take out of the minutes and put it back as an action item?
Oh, that was from last meetings from it was to take out where I couldn't hear the reports.
Okay. So you're okay with that then?
Yes.
Okay. And I make motion to accept and approve the minutes of October 5th, 2020.
Okay, Councilman Martinez makes the motion to approve the consent agenda. Okay, next item, number 7, are the action items. Item A is the easement and right-of-way for AEP Texas and enter a contribution in aid of construction agreement for electrical distribution service. So Norma, can you give us a recap on this?
Okay, This is for the water storage tank that is being constructed with the grant money that we have going on right now. We've run into some problems and we're running out of time. So this is something that has to be done. We're going to have to move one of the utility poles out of the way because that it's in the way. It's not high enough basically for the wiring, and the wiring tends to, if it's too close to metal, it tends to corrode a lot faster. So what we're needing to do is to move that pole along with the line out of harm's way so that we can be able to construct the storage tank right now. The only thing is it's going to be more of an in-kind. I think we had already approved extra expense of 20, maybe about 26,000 sometime back for added expenses that was brought to the council back then, and it was approved. So we're thinking hopefully this may be an additional to that, to those 26,000 we had already committed. And this is something that's going to have to be signed, and this is something that's going to have to be paid because we're running out of time. We need to finish this this grant, close out this grant by January, and we've already called in for an extension because of what is happening with these easements that we're having to get and move those lines. Also, we're also going to have to do for the next meeting, redo the resolution because the resolution was designating the mayor as a signator. So now we're going to have to change it to the mayor pro tem and one of the council members so that we need to sign. So I'll be having to get the next meeting for a payment request that is not being able to be paid because we don't have the signature of the mayor. So now it's going to have to, we're having to redo the paperwork over to designate the mayor pro tem and a council member.
Norma, were you able to talk to Wanda about the 19,000 from the?
Mm-hmm. That's going to be part of our in-kind. It's going to have to come out of our in-kind, yes.
Okay.
So the total cost is going to be 19,271 to remove that pole, to relocate that pole.
To relocate that pole and give a service for that tank.
And he said on a previous meeting we had discussed it. We budgeted or
right. We had discussed and brought it before the council where we were going to be allowing extra monies to have those jockey pumps and the added pumps into that pump station. So this is just going to be an added cost now for the moving of that pole.
Right. Is this something that we're going to have to require a workshop to discuss, or do we just go ahead and?
I don't think we have enough time. I don't think we have enough time to do any more discussion on this. This has to be done as ASAP so that AEP can come in. AEP takes their sweet time, and like I said, our grant, we have to complete and close out our grant by January. So I don't know, once we submit this work order, I don't know how long it's going to take for AEP to come in and do the work.
Right.
Okay.
Well, regardless, I mean, this is just a resolution to give them the right of way.
Right. You're going to have to sign an easement. We're going to have to sign an easement along with the permission to go ahead and install that pole.
Okay.
And the resolution that you have.
Okay, so
easement right of ways.
Okay, and it requires a mayor's signature?
No, we can do it with the mayor pro tem. She is now been designated as.
Right. So then we don't need to change the signature right away then.
Yeah, no, not on this one. Yeah, we can just we can cross out mayor and put mayor pro tem.
So this is no action item. We just go ahead, since we discussed it, it's just a matter of signing the,
Yeah, you have to take action. You have to approve it.
oh, take action.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, council, do I hear a motion to take action on the easement and right of way for AEP?
I'll make a motion to take easement or to take action on the AEP easement right away.
Councilman Flores makes the motion. Do I hear a second?
I second it.
Councilman Martinez seconds it. Councilman Lopez? I can barely hear. Do I hear?
I don't think he was able to get in. I don't
Okay.
see him.
Okay, so can you hear him, Councilman Martinez, or? No? Okay, so Councilman Martinez made the motion, Councilman Flores made the motion, Councilman Martinez second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes. And we can't hear Councilman Lopez. So 3 ayes carries motion. Is that the correct way, or should I say 4?
No, we've got it. With
That's
three.
You got it? 3 ayes. Motion carries. Okay, the second item is the interlocal agreement with San Patricio County Health Department to provide the health-related services within the area of the city. Norma, I know this morning I went to City Hall to ask you a question. I know you had mentioned this is something that the city does every year, but my question to you was, because it had an amount 000. So the city is not charged for the services?
No.
Okay,
The restaurants, the stores, the customers, or the people that are wanting to open up a business will be the ones to pay for their licensing. This is just giving them permission to come into the city to do the inspections, which is something that's needed by the health department.
oh, I see. Okay, thank you. And on this one, we also take an action?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, council members, do I hear a motion to take action on the interlocal agreement with San Patricio County Health Department?
I'll make a motion to go through with the agreement on the interlocal agreement with San Patricio County Health Department to
All right,
provide
thank you.
health-related services.
Thank you. Council, do I hear a second?
I second it.
Councilman Martinez seconds the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the scheduled workshop to review and adopt an adoption of the LDC and zoning map and public hearing. Brandon? Hello, Brandon. I think this was on your agenda.
That's for tomorrow.
No, actually,
No?
this agenda item was a follow-up to our last meeting. We were inadvertently put on the agenda as a presentation during the last meeting when we had hoped that we could ask you to schedule a workshop so that we could discuss the land development code and zoning map. I know that Councilman Martinez has requested that several times. So that's really why we're here tonight, is just to see if we can set that date so that we can move the project forward.
Council members, what I would recommend, and this is what I was going to state on my report. I've been in communication with Crystal, the administrator from that Gregory Housing Authority, and Mr. Jeronimo Garcia, the commissioners. And I had called to ask when would it be possible where we can start holding meetings there at the Housing Authority. He did respond back, Mr. Garcia, saying that since next month is also the election day on November 3rd, the Housing Authority is already ready to go. So if possibly for the month of November, And I know usually with our work schedules, I know mine is hectic. And y'all do have also y'all's work schedules, but Saturdays, I'm just throwing it out there. How would Saturday, like we used to have our workshops when Brandon would hold the boards and everybody at the housing authority? Because for me right now, any day for the month of November, I'm good. Because I can give enough notice to schedule for that day.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, so I asked you last Thursday by text, you and Norma, if we could have this by the 20th, which is tomorrow. You never replied back. I did continue texting when Norma did reply back. So we requested this workshop to be scheduled for tomorrow. And if you can't make it, well, I mean, we do have a quorum.
Okay, well, Councilman Martinez, and just to, as Mayor Pro Tem, since the mayor is not present, I do hold the duties as mayor.
Mhm.
Now, on this workshop, for a workshop to be held, the mayor is to, on a council meeting, to request a workshop where the council members are present. So yes, you did text me, but I did not respond, sir, for the reason that it was a multi-text, and that would constitute a quorum.
No,
So that's why I didn't answer.
no.
And in this case, with this meeting on the 20th, I did respond back to Norma, but only to Norma because it was late and I was at work, just to let her know that it was short notice. And yes, I did agree on a workshop, but the 20th was too soon. And when this was discussed, it was that Friday morning, or yes, it was Friday morning because I was going to work. But it was in and out because I was going in and you were there and you were leaving also because you had other duties to do. But yes, like I said, as Mayor Pro Tem and holding the duties of a mayor to hold a workshop, only the mayor can request a workshop.
A special meeting, a workshop, any council member.
Or special meeting, yes.
For
But in
workshop.
this
Just a
case,
special
as a
meeting.
council member, you have no authority to even schedule a workshop to say, Norma, go ahead and schedule a workshop. It should have been done in a council, like tonight, in a council meeting.
That's the first I've heard of that. I know as Mayor Pro Tem, you're taking the duties as mayor, but only for a special meeting, that's where it requires a request from a mayor or Mayor Pro Tem. A workshop can be requested by any council member. As far as creating a quorum, you're not creating a quorum when there's two people talking to the secretary. And I'll tell you why. Because you can discuss anything, even if there's two council members, as long as there's no action taken. Read up on the TML. You'll learn a lot, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, well, I've been reading up a lot, but I'm also going by our special counsel, and I've been asking questions that we're not. Yes, you may be right about taking any action. It's not about taking action. It's like we're both in.
If you take action or decide on to take on an action, discussing it on two persons, then it's a quorum.
Yeah, well, at this time, like I said, Councilman Martinez, that the workshop scheduled for tomorrow has to be canceled because it wasn't done by city procedures.
Are you familiar with this, Norma?
I'm sorry?
Are you familiar with this, that a council member cannot request for a workshop other than the mayor or mayor pro tem?
Not on that. I know that mayor can call for a special meeting. I don't know about a workshop. I know a workshop, you don't have to have a quorum. But if you remember, I think last meeting, special counsel told us that now two council members now constitutes a quorum, so we can't be doing any back and forth.
If action taken. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, I mean, you allowed it to go ahead and continue for the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, you told me to go ahead and continue with the process because she wasn't going to be able to make it. You said you needed to have it done ASAP. So I went ahead and put it on. I went ahead and posted your agenda as you requested.
And any items that need to be addressed, of course, everything's being addressed to Norma. And in this case, and I understand, either send an email where now I'm in communication with Norma so we can get like anything, like even if it's an agenda, that's why we have a request form where you can request, a future action item, or if you need, what was the other one? First the request form or future agenda items.
So how soon are you gonna request this workshop, Mayor Pro Tem?
Well, right now, and I'm sorry, Brandon, I didn't mean to interrupt because we were, and see, this was where I also got confused because I thought it was something that was going to be at a later date, not that soon. When Brandon had brought this up, she had mentioned that it was going to be pertaining to the land development code. What was it?
Land development code and zoning map.
And the zoning map.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the mix-up was there. But what we needed to do is hold a workshop pertaining to that and for the month of November. So that's why I'm asking the council members for the month of November to hold a workshop pertaining to what Brandon is requesting on the workshop. So if you have your dates, if you can check on your dates where we can schedule. I have my big calendars. I said, I was ready this time. So if there's anything or any date, I'd be more than willing to, but hopefully it may be Saturday, because Saturday, that way we'll be more where we're not just getting out of work, trying to, get into the workshop.
This coming Saturday is gonna be.
Are we talking for November? Let me see if I can show it.
This coming Saturday will be the 24th.
24th. So are you available for the 24th?
No, not for this month. Councilman Flores, what days would you be available? Do you have a date that you might have in mind?
I'd be available anytime. I mean, tomorrow was a good time for me, but
No, it's
either
too
way.
soon.
What I'm kind of curious as to know why it's too soon. If we're going to discuss it at a workshop.
It's too soon for me to change my schedule at work because I work late tomorrow. Otherwise, I would have been there at every meeting that I can. As long as I'm giving 1 week's notice, I can make some changes, but that was too quick from a Friday to a Tuesday. That was my only.
So you need a week's notice? So on a.
No, it has to be for the month of November. That's why I'm asking.
You said a week's notice, okay. So.
Because the schedule for me for the month of October has already been done.
So how early November? The 1st on a Sunday?
You mean the Saturday, the 7th?
Saturday, Sunday, any day.
Brandon.
Yes.
Would Saturdays work for you like we used to have our workshops? If we, as council, agree on a Saturday? I think Councilman Lopez wants to make a comment. I keep seeing.
Councilman Lopez is not here.
Oh, he's not. Okay, I'm sorry. Then it's somebody else.
I think, I know Mr. Kubitschek's phone always goes off.
Oh, okay.
It's not muted.
I'm here.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm available on November 7th.
I don't want to do a Saturday.
Okay, what days would you like? Or what day would be available?
A Tuesday would be fine after that. So on your calendar, the 9th or the 10th, I mean.
The 10th, I have the 4B board meeting.
The 3rd, how about November 3rd?
Election day.
Oh, shit.
It's election day.
I'm sorry to jump in, but since the 10th is an EDC board meeting, it could be a joint workshop.
We could have a joint. That's what I was going to say. Since
Yes, and not only that, we're going to have it at the Housing Authority.
Okay.
Good thinking, Brandon. Thank you for bringing that up. Councilman Flores, how do you feel about Tuesday, the 10th? And Councilman Martinez?
I think
No
I said
problem
the
with
10th.
that. I was just hoping a little earlier. How about the 4th on Wednesday?
I can do the Wednesday. Oh, actually, it's close because I'm going out of town that weekend. But I mean, I can try Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, are you more comfortable on the 10th then, on Tuesday?
Yes.
No, I'll do the 4th. Let's just do the 4th.
Okay. Well, what I can do also is for this workshop, like I had mentioned before, I like to have the 4B board members. The 4B board members are also, because when we had our workshop, also keep in mind, they also have, I mean, they had good questions at this past council meeting. And it's questions that I couldn't answer, but hopefully if we all get together, council and board members, we can probably get more, honestly, work together and get more work done. But we would all be in the same page. And that's something that we're not in. We're all having different, it's like we all need to ask the questions, but that we all understand that, yes, this is what we're talking about.
Can you elaborate on that?
This past, when we had our 4B board meeting, questions did arise. And some of the questions were primarily about, here again, Somerset. And because we're trying to do, or Catherine and Brandon and Catherine are drafting an EDC 4B website. And from that website, I mean, it was good. It was a teleconference, but it was questions pertaining to, okay, so what are we going to do? There's no planning and zoning. How are we going to build a website when you need the planning and zoning if businesses are coming in, because they're the ones to go. But here again, that's why we're here as a council.
You're saying we need to build a website in order for—
No, we're not going to build. It's only to review and a draft about a future website for the 4B. It's just for the 4B.
Brandon, can you
What is it
elaborate
that you're
more?
doing, Brandon? Can you explain to us what—
All right, so I know I've talked with Councilman Flores about this, and I've shared it with the council previously. This website is just for the 4B board. It takes the place of the open house that was scheduled for the end of March to just promote property in Gregory that's available for development. I think we should stop there because this has nothing to do with the agenda item that is on the table right now.
So right now, thank you, Brandon. So right now, if you say the 4th, that way I would still like to have a joint meeting with the 4B. And I will let them know instead of having it on the 10th, if we can all meet on the 4th. So if the 4th is good for you, Councilman Martinez and Councilman Flores, all we need to know is just let Councilman Lopez know on that date that we're going to be having a workshop.
But in turn, we don't know if that's a good date for Alvaro. It might be too short. I don't know how many weeks he needs notice as well. I mean, I got you. I'm just putting it out there.
So for now, can we go ahead and just put November 4th for a scheduled workshop? I'm good for the 4th.
4th? Okay.
Okay, so this would be also to take action?
To take action?
Or is it just, we're just scheduling? Schedule workshop to review and adoption of the LDC and public hearing. So we've discussed it. So I guess there's no action, Brandon, on this?
We just needed a date.
Okay. So council members, are we in agreement for November the 4th?
I mean, that's the earliest we can have it. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Councilman Flores?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So Norma, if you can schedule November 4th, Wednesday, for a workshop. And if And if you can also include the 4B board members.
There's going to be a joint workshop.
I would like it to be a joint workshop. That way we can all, if we all have questions, we can all be present at the workshop. Okay. All right, council members, thank you. So the next item is number 8. That's old business. It's item A, resolution 2020-10-02, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gregory and Solis Enterprises Incorporated, Ernest V. Solis, and authorizing mayor of the City of Gregory to enter into said annexation agreement with Solis Enterprises Incorporated, Ernest V. Solis, for the City of Gregory.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I had tabled that in the last meeting for discussion on this meeting, but I'm gonna go ahead and table it again, and I guess let it die for now. Yeah, we'll put it back up until further notice.
Oh, okay, Councilman Martinez. So Councilman Martinez tabled action item number 8. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Councilman Flores seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. 3 ayes, motion carries. Okay, the next item would be, item number 9, closed session. City Council will recess its open meeting and reconvene in closed session. Pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 for consultation with the city attorney and special counsel to receive legal advice regarding a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Government Code to include the following matters: City Hall Complex Project and related contracts and agreements. So at this time, I will close our regular session